It's a very nice view, but if you look down here, it's a lot of bodies, carcasses of dead animals. And because of this place, population of Griffon vultures just grow exponentially.
For the next few days, I joined the team responsible for saving them. We had to reach their nests, we had to climb the cliffs and risk the fall. Handle every chick by hand and hope that we could return them safely. This is how Serbia brought Griffon vultures back from the edge of extinction. And this was the hardest conservation mission I ever joined.
Today is the first day of expedition. We have with us a team of ornithologists, biologists and also climbers. Everyone is packing and now we go to the boat to search for the nests of the vultures.
The first goal is to inspect an area and locate all of the nests which have chicks in them. They nest on a very high and remote cliffs, and here are about 110 pairs of Griffon vultures, and it's the biggest colony in Serbia, from which now they're starting to spread all over. And you can see them everywhere here. They're flying above you, passing by, and there are so many nests.
We are going there, crazy. There are two chicks?
No, only one. The left one is the adult. You see the difference in color?
No, I tell you honestly.
Adults are paler and have a white collar and a white beak, and the young ones are much darker.
That's our first stop. The nest is right there and it's quite steep slope. It will be a challenge to get up, and from the top the climbers will go down to pick up the chick. So let's go up.
I must tell you that it was very physically demanding, going up and down all day long.
It's quite crazy, to be honest, to go all of this height just for the bird, but people are doing it and it's amazing.
In some places, we also have to install bolts to secure climbers. It's a very short time frame when we could do this mission, only 2 weeks in early June. That's because the chicks have to be between 3 or 4 months old. If they're older, they already start to fly, so as soon as we approach them, they will fly away, which makes ringing almost impossible. But if they're younger than 3 months, they're too small, so we can't attach all of the rings on them.
We're going down to one of the nests and right above us, I don't know, maybe 20 of vultures circling. Seems like they're protecting their chicks or just checking out what's happening, and yeah, it's very interesting. And down there is a boat with Sasha, which coordinates from there because it's really hard to navigate here. And it looks like there's one chick, maybe there are more, then it's lucky because it takes so much effort just to get all the way up here.
Also, by tagging youngsters from their nests, we know 100% that they are from Uvac colony. Have a look how Stefan managed to capture this chick. He grabbed it right before it escaped in the cave, from where it would be impossible to get it out. Great job. Now, he placed it in the transportation bag, and we are lifting it up.
Mogu se kladim da se povraći. Ajde, što? Šta ga? 9,5, jel?
9,5. Hoću joj pitat salete da...
Bacaj! O, what a smell!
On je već bio u fazonu, što nismo na ovo.
Stavljam je sad.
Šta je povraći?
Now we need to apply 2 different rings and 1 wing tag.
Metal ring is the official ring of Natural History Museum. The green rings and the wing tags are much more visible. So usually you can find a bird with a metal ring and you can find it only dead or if they're captured or somehow. And the wing tags are much more visible. When somebody take a photo of the bird in the flight and see the tags, they can call us and say, okay, we saw your bird. They have a little bit of smell. Okay, I cannot feel it anymore, so I get used to it. But yeah, it's the first contact with the bird you can smell.
We're also taking blood samples.
For genetics and for some another analysis like heavy metals and some pollution like that and the parasites. Also DNA base for Griffon Vultures from Serbia.
The Griffon Vulture is interesting because it does not leave people indifferent. They either adore it or hate it. When I first encountered them, I could not believe that there is such a species in Serbia, because we only saw the Griffon Vulture in the books from Africa. At that time there was very little literature about the Griffon Vultures, so I could hardly find anything about it. Then I started going around looking for nests and so on. I cared about preserving them. They're special species. In addition to having a very great educational significance, they provide great sanitary role, because they remove killed livestock. They have aesthetic significance.
It's a very nice view, but if you look down here, it's a lot of bodies, carcasses of dead animals. That's the feeder of the Griffon Vultures. And because of that, the population of Griffon Vultures just grow exponentially. So that's why in Uvac now we could find up to 600 vultures. It's terrible smell here, it's a lot of flies, a lot of dead animals, a lot of crows. It's really a brutal place, but vultures love it.
It all started in 80s actually, when Institute for Biological Research, where Dr. Sasha Marinkovic worked, started research why vultures are disappearing from Serbia. It was really, really critical.
When I started working here, there were only 10 pairs of vultures left, because of the inbreeding depression. They've been interbreeding for decades, and population stagnated and fell. And then we found out that the biggest problem is winter period, because there are no food available. And it's the most needed period for reproduction. When we opened the feeding ground, it was the first feeding ground in the Balkans. And then we attracted a lot of the Griffon Vultures from entire area. Macedonia, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they mixed there. And it gave, how can I say, the genetic potential for the population to start growing rapidly.
Slowly, with more food on the feeding stations, the numbers started to grow. Nature Reserve have contracts with those local slaughterhouses, so they call them and rangers go there to pick up the animals.
Today we're gonna release Griffon Vultures. There's the sanctuary right behind me. Now the conditions of few of them is really stable, really good, and we're gonna move forward and release them so they will join their bodies up there on the hill. You can see there's a colony waiting for them. And also quite a lot of people show up. Most of them are supporters and volunteers.
The vultures that end up here usually that fall in the lake or are hurt in some way. We've had one that was shot at, actually, not in this area but in other places, and was brought here to recover. Then maybe they get some parasites and many other reasons, and after they get recovered we wait for better weather and then we release them.
Now, the challenge is to catch them. We need 5, and it's interesting to see how different they are. Some are aggressive, others are scared or, let's say, more passive. But each one tries to escape. Yet it's not first time for the guys to do it, so they're quite successful. There's an opening on the ceiling, so that other vultures can visit and communicate with the ones recovering, because the sanctuary actually located right under the colony.
In the 20th century, after the Second World War, it was really big actions of hunting societies. The state was paying them to eliminate the carnivore mammals, so they put poison baits to the field, but the best in finding dead animals are vultures, so 150 vultures were poisoned in 1 year.
They wanted to poison carnivores like wolves, but vultures became victims. Now poisoning is banned, but it's still a problem in many places all around the world. Yet today is a celebration. We're releasing 5 vultures, and the first one ran away under the car, but managed to find his way. Another one almost bit Irena, but all is good. It was a very special and emotional moment, seeing them flying away and realizing that they are free again.
I think that the most important thing is to bring back the tradition in livestock farming. We have a good example in Spain that they recycle all livestock waste. That way avoiding pollution of nature by burning, and on the other hand reduce the cost of remediating livestock waste. So in Spain, livestock farmers are interested in vultures feeding on dead livestock because it reduces the price of their product and it benefits them. Likewise, when dead livestock is burned, harmful gases are produced. Burning a ton of livestock waste costs 96 euros. If you have 9 million tons of livestock waste in Spain, you can see how much it saves. We want to implement the same principle here in Serbia and in the Balkans as a whole, because we believe that if we solve the problem with livestock waste this way, we will automatically solve the problem with vultures. By doing so, we're also reducing the problem of the carbon footprint.
Is there a chick?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can feel the smell. Oh, wow. Okay, we got quite high with Anna. Actually, that's her job. I was just following. And we've got small chick right here. Look, that's her nest. Right now it pretends that it's dead, although it's breathing, we can see. It's super high. It's quite dangerous to get here. And the thing is, this chick is quite young and quite small, so we cannot really put the proper tag on her, the big one with the number. That's why we will do something we never did before. We will tag and take blood samples and everything right here in the nest.
Some nests are pretty unreachable, very high, and some are very risky to get to. It's a unique opportunity to get in this kind of nest. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
For sure. What about the smell?
Well, you get used to it.
White feathers means it's still a little chick.
It might look that this way to ring a bird is much easier, since we don't need to transport her up and down in a bag. Also less stressful for the bird, but in reality it's very rare when there's such good access to the nest, with enough space, and ideally you need 3 persons to do it. So this time is exceptional, and a new experience also for the team.
Oh, it's so calm, it's so good.
Yeah, now it's totally zen, which is good.
Yeah. And this one didn't vomit, so good.
Yeah, he's so nice.
This one was a good guy.
Sometimes we have to search for a nest with a drone. Sometimes the nests are empty.
There's a bird. Yeah.
There's a bird, yeah?
There's a bird.
This nest is located above a cave, and we can send the bird right into the boat from it. This is a bit bigger guy, so we will install a satellite transmitter on his body to track his movement and get a lot of data. The chick have to be at least 8 kilos for this satellite. Griffon Vulture have defense mechanism. They puke when they are stressed, to kind of free their stomach and fly away faster, which means they almost always puke inside the transportation bag, and every time we open it, it smells terrible. They also have some specific smell on its own, but it's not as bad as puking smell.
When I first time climbed up the nest of the vulture, I was so happy that I probably associated their smell with something beautiful. And now, when I feel the smell of Griffon Vultures, I always feel pleasant. How can I say it? Like when you remember the smell of pine in the Mediterranean and you associate it with something beautiful. I love the smell of vultures.
Getting down as well is extremely tricky. Oh, careful! So that's why it takes so much time. In one day, work about 12 hours, we could tag only 4 or 5 chicks. Most of the time you're just climbing up and down, and crazy demanding, but it's worth it.
The whole thing is pretty challenging. Maybe the hardest part is hanging down a rope and letting your weight in the faith of the rope and in the hands of the rope, so to speak. When you do that for the first time, that's kind of challenging. And then after, maybe when we have to climb with all the gear, the whole team needs to climb up through really heavy terrain. But then you get a view like this and energy comes back up.
When I saw Griffon Vultures in flight in the wild, and I was like, that is it, the love on first sight. Really magnificent birds when you see them. There's nothing like that. I feel lucky. Lucky to be part of that, yeah, definitely lucky enough to have amazing job and can participate and can help to recover and protect this species.
I think the most satisfying thing for me is to be able to be in the nature and enjoy all this with the purpose, not just being here to enjoy myself, but to do something that I believe is meaningful.
The guys back there tagging the last bird, and it's 11 in total for 3 full days. So, if you're a climber or ornithologist and want to participate in such crazy missions, you're welcome to do so with the Birds of Prey Protection Foundation. And as usual, thank you for watching, be brave to act, go out in nature, and support me on Patreon.